Good morning, everyone. This is Don Daniel from P.I.L.L Methods International, and today we are in Everyone Deserves a Home Club, and we're bringing How to Pay Off Mortgages in 7 Years to this club. It is going to be a fantastic show. We're going to be talking about artificial intelligence this morning, Jared, and how we use artificial intelligence in how to figure out how to save the most interest possible for everyone. You know, it is the interest, folks, that makes these loans untenable. It makes them last forever. But the way that the banks charge interest, how they use an algorithm to charge interest, do you know that we can deconstruct that? That we can use a computer to challenge another computer so that we can pay at certain times in certain amounts, which makes it impossible for the banks to charge us interest. We're going to be talking about that today, Jared. What do you say this morning, sir?
Hey, man, I'm excited to be here. Thank God it's Friday. It's going to be an amazing weekend, and this is an amazing way to kick off the weekend. So for this room, everybody, we run this for 2 hours, and the key to this room is we love for it to be interactive. So this isn't intended to be a lecture. This is actually intended to be a question and answer. So if you have a question about your mortgage, and you're like, Don, here's my specific mortgage, my interest rate. I have a HELOC. I have a refinance I'm about to do. I'm thinking about doing a large down payment. What should I do? You come on stage and ask that question. Not only will you get information that'll help you make decisions that'll create generational wealth and save you potentially tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars, but everybody in the audience will understand better as well with the back and forth dialogue and the examples that we're going to put on the screen. So how we put the examples on the screen is on YouTube. And if you go to the URL that I posted in the chat, i10kvideos.com, on your laptop, desktop, or iPad, you'll be able to see these examples on the big screen while being able to stay inside a Clubhouse. And if you'd like to come on stage and ask a question while watching the example get broken down live on your screen. All right. So definitely want to make sure you're raising your hands. It doesn't have to just be about mortgages. Anything related to interest cost, that's your credit cards, your auto loans, your student loans, or your mortgage. Come on stage, ask questions. We love for this to be interactive, and we hope that you get a ton out of this room, as hundreds of thousands of others have done so on Clubhouse, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, where this is all streaming. So before we get into moderator introductions and start answering questions, I'd love for Don to let you know a little bit more about who he is and what you're going to be able to experience in this room, and what is this P.I.L.L method that we are talking about right now. So Don, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Thank you, Jared. Well, again, my name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. We have a book by the same name, and it's been a #1 bestseller on Amazon. So, folks, we're talking about today, we're going to be talking about the P.I.L.L method stands for prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. Once you understand these 4 principles, you'll understand that everything that has to do with loans fits somewhere in one of those 4 categories: prepayment of the principal, isolating the principal amount, knowing how much to pay and when to pay it, leverage, finding the smallest amount you can apply to a loan to save the maximum amount of interest possible per dollar, and then liquidity, understanding all of your funds, understanding that they're all fungible, that they can be used in different ways, but some money is more expensive than other money. And I'm telling you, you may be surprised to find out the most expensive money you have when it comes to getting out of debt is the money sitting in your bank. That's the most expensive money you have. Not the money you spend on credit cards, not the money you spend on loans, but the money you have sitting in the bank is the most expensive money you have because it's underutilized. That's what we're going to be talking about today, folks. We're going to fit everything in here, but our main theme today is how to use a computer or artificial intelligence to figure out what is the best way to handle a loan. Back to you, sir.
Awesome. So I'm really excited to get into it. Click that link above and follow the P.I.L.L method. That's where we typically do this room. And when you click that link, read the about description. That's a great cliff notes into what kind of questions you can ask on today's stage. And we would love for somebody to raise their hand from C all the way down to Micah Mills. Anybody that wants to ask a question, raise your hand and we'll get to you first. So we'll do some quick moderator introductions. We're gonna have some great people popping in. But my name is Jared Albritton. As you can see, I have a picture with Dr. Eric Thomas. That was from this amazing event that Don threw this weekend. And hopefully soon we'll be able to share the replay with you. A lot of amazing stuff happened there. But I do rooms on Clubhouse, focus on generational wealth. Check out my bio, describe some of the things that I focus on, like tech, the metaverse, NFTs, crypto. And if you check out my replays, you're going to see a ton of valuable, educational, informative rooms on Clubhouse, like the ones we're doing right now. So next is Kelly. Please introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelly Russell. I'm the owner of Self Care Holistic, which is an e-commerce brand with retail and warehouse locations in Wilmington, Delaware. I also help other business owners scale their businesses by helping them obtain business credit. I am also a newfound stalker of Don Daniels because he knows how to throw a hell of a party that you learn a lot from. I'm also encouraging you guys to ask your questions. I'm learning more and more about leveraging and scaling my business, and that comes with a lot more interest and a lot more opportunities that I know that would have deterred me with higher interest rates. But with I'm learning from what I'm learning from Mr. Daniels is not to fear those things, because there is artificial intelligence, is our new word of the day, that he's been able to help us be able to use that money to pay off these debts and save. So I just encourage you guys to ask questions. I know this morning you were talking about how someone asked, would this apply to smaller debts? And I would love for you to share that again. But I used to think that as well, Mr. Daniels. I was like, I don't owe much on my mortgage. Would this even benefit from me? And then when I learned about all the other ways, from car payments to even credit card debt, that this AI that you have mastered would help with. I love for you to talk about that whenever you get a chance, because I was one that stayed away from you and your program for a while because I just didn't think that it made sense for me, because I don't have a high dollar that I owe on my mortgage.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelly, for that so much. So yeah, if anybody wants to come on stage, raise their hand. Otherwise, Don, let's go ahead and kick it off by just explaining what is this artificial intelligence you're talking about, and maybe throw up an example to show the impact of your program on a 30, 40-year mortgage, and how you're able to see the month, date, and year they can pay it off, and how to get it down to 7 to 10 years paid off, saving hundreds of thousands of dollars for your clients, and taking that money that would have been sent to the bank and converted into your kids' inheritance, other real estate investments. And that's another thing. If you're a real estate investor, you're not coming on the stage, you are missing out on huge opportunity to make and save millions of dollars. So again, everyone deserves a home. We're here for you. This is a rare appearance in this club. So take advantage, raise your hand, and come on stage, ask these questions. But Don, I'm going to pass it back to you so that you can maybe kick it off with the first example. And again, if you want to see this first example, go to your laptop, your iPad, or your desktop, type in ice10kvideos.com. The URL is in the chat. You can see it on your big screen while you're still in Clubhouse, and you will understand what you're witnessing today. So with that being said, Don, I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Miss Kelly. Listen, Kelly, people misunderstand what we do often, but here's the thing. When you have any loan, the thing you want to think about is, how much interest do I have left to pay on that loan? Okay? So when you're thinking about how much interest you have left to pay, do you want to pay less interest? So everybody is looking at, how fast can I pay off the loan? That's the wrong thing to do. That's the wrong way to look at it. How fast can I pay off the loan? but you want to say, how cheaply can I pay off the loan? Now, Miss Kelly, you are in a business where discounts matter. You are in a business where buying in bulk matters. There's a certain point at which you get a price break when you're buying those units that you resell. Isn't that correct, Miss Kelly? I know she.
Absolutely. Look, I'm packing some of them up now.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So if you've got to buy something, do you look at the just the sheer number of things you have to buy and resell, or does it matter to you what the price is per unit?
Definitely per unit.
Hmm.
Definitely per unit. I don't look at the actual price. I need the unit. So typically, the more unit, the less price.
Right. So whenever you're looking at it, so you say, okay, I've got to spend $10,000, but you don't look at the $10,000. You want to know, how many units can I get for the $10,000? That's what we look at. Okay. So I've got to find a way to lower the price of each unit I'm going to resell. So this is how we have to look at loans. So when I have a loan, Miss Kelly, when I have a loan, what I want to take a look at is, what is the interest that they're charging me each month, and can I reduce that interest? Hmm. Not how much do I owe, not how fast can I pay it off, but what are they going to charge me to borrow their money? And is there a way I can cut my interest cost by 50 to 75% using my same budget? So, Miss Kelly, if you have a certain budget, okay, if you have a certain budget and somehow, whatever you're selling, let's say it's $5 a unit, okay, but by spending just a tad bit more, we can get it from $5 a unit down to $2.50 a unit, because we spent just a little bit more. Now you spent more, but your profit margin has increased, correct?
Absolutely. So basically, what I'm hearing from you, Mr.
Yes.
Day,
Yes.
is that you are teaching us how to be a purchaser, a wholesaler, instead of just the retail. Because normally when you go get a car or something, oh, can you, they try to figure out how much monthly payment you could afford. And that's all you want to know, the monthly payment. You don't give a damn how much this is going to cost you over time at that present moment. The light bulb just went off. Go ahead.
There you go. That's what we're doing. So when it comes to getting these loans, you're renting money, but you don't want to continue to rent that money at retail. Retail is too much money. So how can I get the same amount of money at wholesale? I can pay a lot less money for the money I'm borrowing. And if I do that, guess what? I can buy more units of whatever it is I'm selling, because I'm not paying as much interest. Now, how do we relate that to buying a home? Well, if I'm buying a home and I'm supposed to pay $300,000 interest on this $300,000 home, then the true cost of that home is $600,000. That's the true cost, not what you negotiated, not the $300,000 you negotiated. But if you keep that loan for 30 years and the bank charges you $300,000 in interest for that $300,000 home, well, that's one home for you and one home for the bank. I don't think that's why you got into this whole thing. But what if you can use your current budget, the one that you have right now? You don't need to make any more money. You don't have to. You don't have to sacrifice lifestyle, meaning you don't have to cut back on your lifestyle. We're going to show you how you can use your current budget to pay a lot less interest by moving the right amount of money in the right month on the right day of the month to kill interest cost. So I'm going to put something on the screen right now. And It is, and Jared, you mentioned having a um, uh, real estate investor, correct? Okay, so why don't we start there? Why don't we start there with a real estate investor? And listen, we've got a busy man on the stage right now. Before I get into this, before I get into this example, I'd like to go ahead and do some moderator intros before these guys can jump out of here, because I know they're busy. Why don't we go ahead? But I've got this on the screen for people who want to see it on YouTube. So go ahead and let's do those moderator intros.
So if you want to see what's on the screen, just go to ice10kvideos.com on your browser, and you can get set up while we get these moderator intros and out, for you guys, so you know the powerhouses that are on this stage. So first and foremost, I want to go to the founder of this club, and we want to thank you for allowing us in this club. Luis, man, how you doing this morning?
What's up, family? How y'all doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Excellent, man.
Yeah, we're excited to bring this to your audience. And for those that don't know you, love for you to tell people who you are, just in case they are new to Everyone Deserves a Home. Let people know about this amazing club. And then for your club members, any thoughts on what this room's about, just in case they're maybe sleeping on the information they're about to get. So Luis, I'll pass it back to you.
Most definitely, bro. So listen, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a vertically integrated realtor here in New York and New Jersey. I believe in providing opportunity for everybody and their mama, literally. So we provide not just real estate advice, but we also provide people with funding nationwide. And this club specifically was started because I wanted to tell people about the story about Sandra Wallace, a woman who was able to purchase a property and go from homeless to homeowner with only $7,500 out of her bank account. So we went for a year and a half teaching people about how to get access to more than $85,000 in down payment and closing cost assistance. And man, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I met Don the Pill Method Daniel, and he was teaching people literally how to hack the system and how to cut interest costs by hundreds of thousands of dollars, it changed my life, bro. So I am honored each and every time you guys host a room under this club, because this club is about opportunities specifically for all communities. There's nobody who can access this knowledge and this information. And I'm blessed to know you guys. So yeah, man, that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about the club. We've touched more than 200,000 people in this club already, and we just getting started, baby.
Louise, keep people mama out of your damn presentation. What up, fam?
I'm sitting next to my mom as we speak.
What's up? Hey, shout out to you, Don. Shout out to Jared, Kelly, the rest of the room. I'm just here for a brief moment, guys, to pass through and give Don his flowers for what he does in terms of helping individuals to save on the interest. The reality of the situation is, guys, if you want to work hard, you can go to the Sahara Desert and you can just keep digging a couple of holes. That's working hard. But if you want to work smart, especially in the area of your finances, you want to find ways to eliminate those extra money that you're tossing out the window. So if there's a way for you to save some extra money, put that back into your wealth creation bucket, put it back into your family, put it back into your network, I think it's definitely something that's worth it. And what Don is discussing here, pay close attention, bring others into the room, don't hold the information to yourself, also share it with others. So I just want to come in really quick, double down on that statement, and then boom, pass my back to you, Jared.
And don't forget to ping a friend to ping a friend. Let's invite some people into the room and share this room out to your hallways, because it's going to blow up.
Absolutely. And we got one more special guest in the room. I'm going to invite him up. We got RB. Man, Luis, when you come, all the superstars pull up, man. We got to have you pull up to the room more often, brother. So let's go to RB and then Flame. And A. Miller is away from the phone right now. She just texted me, but she came in to support the room as well. We got 50 people in here. Amazing. Keep sharing this room. RB, please introduce yourself.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Excellent, RB. Thank you for coming.
Awesome. Of course. Of course. Always here to support and check in or chime in with our real estate family. My name is Arby, licensed realtor in the state of New York, also serving Connecticut, buy and hold investor on the multifamily residential side, and a landlord operating in the long term and short term rental space. My passion is that I believe that everyone should be able to have access to information to understand how to create generational wealth through the acquisition of real estate. So I do have a couple of give backs. The first is a free first time homebuyer seminar. It's virtual. Don, we have to collaborate for July, actually.
Definitely.
Yeah, I have to get with you about that. And then the second is we have another date planned for our real estate and entrepreneur networking event, which will be taking place in New York City and Manhattan, free of charge, just to be able to give you access to a whole bunch of key players in the industry, build business, create relationships, and just tap into the resources that are within our community. So if you're interested in either the first time homebuyer workshop or either the virtual workshop or either the networking event that's taking place on June 23rd, then definitely feel free to tap into my 10K card, rb10k.com, or either the link in my Instagram bio, which is NYS_realtor. Thanks so much. I'll add value where I can.
All right.
Shout out to Queen Arby. What up, family?
Hey, family. Miss you. How you been?
Busy and about to get even busier, but I'm loving it.
Absolutely.
That's a blessing. All right.
All right. And so I see my man Flame, who I had the chance to meet in person. He flamed the stage at Don's conference this weekend. Great to see you, brother. If you're free, feel free to unmic and introduce yourself. If you're not, I just appreciate you popping in so early. So Flame, I'm gonna see if you're around. You around to introduce yourself.
Man, shout out to everybody, man. What's happening? You know what I mean? Pretty much, man. Flame Newton. I just deal with credit. I stay in my lane. I got a little lane. I stay in my lane. It's credit. Anything that's in credit, no matter. I don't care what it is. If it's in credit, when you think of the word credit, my face should appear in your mind for some odd reason. This face that you see on the screen should appear in your mind, right? So it's anything that goes into credit, right? Personal credit, business credit. Look, if you're trying to get your pet some credit, I'm with that too. Whatever we're trying to do, we all about credit, 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 credit. Right, so that's what it is about with me. I kind of stay in this lane. Other than that, man, listen, just try to bring blessings. I said, man, listen, for you guys that don't know, let me share this with you.
You're in the matrix, Flame.
She got an event in New York City. Man, if you're just around, you just gotta go. You just gotta meet people, man. You gotta meet people at different conferences, conventions, workshops, seminars.
We're losing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you a little bit better now. You're in the matrix, but yeah, go ahead and yeah, continue.
Can you hear me?
We can't hear you, but hey, let's try to get another area, and we're gonna pop it back to you right after Don goes through the first. But we appreciate you for coming through, man. If you're not following Flame, you absolutely should. You should follow.
Can you hear me now?
It's still a little matrix. But yeah, we're gonna swing back to moderator intros. After Don goes to the first example. But if you're not following all these folks on stage, highly recommend it. These are some powerhouses that do amazing rooms on Clubhouse. And just for the sake of time, because we just want to make sure we get to the first example soon, we're gonna have Don jump into an example, and then we're gonna go into Sheila and to Aaron to introduce themselves. But don't wait for them to introduce themselves. Like Sheila's profile pic says, touch her profile pic, click that follow button so that you can understand all that she does when it comes to financial literacy, logistics, and credit repair. And then click on Erin's profile so you can learn about everything she does in terms of finding government contracts and taking those government contracts and getting you paid in your business through that funding that is available and through that money that's available on government contracts. With that being said, Don, I really want you to get to your first example. So again, if you're new to the room, you can go to a laptop, iPad, desktop, go to ice10kvideos.com. The instructions are in the chat, and you can see this example live on YouTube and see how he is saving tons of money for real estate investors and people with mortgages. So Don, I'm gonna pass it to you.
Wow, listen, we're going to go ahead and get started. Everybody on the stage, thank you so much for popping in here today. We're going to start out with this example of a real estate investor here in this area with over $2 million worth of loans. And he is killing the game. All right. He bought it right and he's renting it right. His mortgages amount to $14,000 a month on both of these properties, but he's cash flowing over $41,000. Yeah, I mean, just kind of switch that around. $41,000 coming in every month, and his rent is 14. His mortgages are $14,000 a month, and so he didn't pay attention to any of this until he read my book. When he read my book, he gave me a call. And I was flabbergasted because if you're here in the Huntsville area, you would know who this person is. You know him by name. But when he called me, I'm saying, listen, I should be getting advice from you, not the other way around. So what is it that I can help you with? He says, I never thought about this concept of how much interest it was costing me to make the money I make. Now, if I can pay less interest, that means I can make more money. So let's take a look at this. So this particular loan, we're looking at this first one. In the first 2 months of this loan, he paid it down by $7,374.92. All right. But it cost him $4,609.08 in interest to get that. So yes, I paid my loan down by $7,000, but it cost me $4,600 in interest. Now, he used to count that as the cost of doing business. He says, well, I mean, if I'm going to, if I can pay out $14,000 and I can pull in $41,000, I mean, that's the name of the game, isn't it? And then we pointed out another loan is an SBA loan at 5% interest over a 25-year term. And when I pointed out that even though in 37 months you paid this loan down by $99,795.91, it cost you $222,000 in interest to get it. Now, when you receive your rent checks, when people send you those rent checks, how much of that money is yours? He said, when they send it to me, it's my money. I said, now, how much of it do you want to keep? Because right now, yes, you have $99,000 in equity, but it cost you $222,000 to get that equity. When you do the math, do you really have equity? Are you really making money here? When you're acquiring this asset, if it costs you if it actually costs you over $300,000 just to get $99,000 you can cash in, yeah, that doesn't seem right. So we went down and I said, now, when you take a look at this, when you're in both loans for 60 months, that's a total of 5 years. Here's how it's going to look if we don't do something different. You're going to be able to pay these loans down by $409,000, but it's going to cost you $472,000 in interest to get the $409,000 in equity. He said, yeah, we got to do something about that. But here's the thing, Don. I'm a real estate investor. I want to take the monies that I am gaining, what I'm getting in rent, and I want to reinvest that money into other property. So how can I pay less interest if I'm taking the funds that I have and I'm investing that money into other property? I would rather make money than to save money right now. I said, what if you could do both? He said, do both? How can I do both? I said, here's what you got to do. All right. So Do you have a reserve fund? He says, yes. I put about $6,000 a month. Out of that money that I get, I put about $6,000 a month in the reserve fund to do repairs on and upkeep on the buildings. Okay, and on all my properties. Okay, because you got to have something in reserve to do that. I said, okay. So about how much money do you have in that reserve fund that you've been able to gain over the years? He says, oh, about $100,000. I said, and you're keeping it where? He says, I'm keeping it in the bank. I said, in a savings account? He said, yeah, basically. Making about 0.1%. He says, yeah, but I make so much money. I really don't care about maybe gaining an extra 0.5% by putting it in a money market or something like that. I'll just keep it here. It's all the same to me at this point. I said, okay, so let's take a look at this thing. If we just look at the monies that you have in the reserve fund, could we advance some of that money and from the reserve fund to the loan? He says, well, yeah, I could do that. But and let me show you the overall picture, and then I'll break it down in detail for you. Okay, here's the overall picture that I see for yourself. All right. So far, you've paid out $334,000 already, $334,032. But out of that money, only $107,000 of that money went to benefit you, actually paid down the loan. The rest of the money went to the bank. Yeah, that's not good. So here's what we're talking about. So what you've paid a total is $226,000 in interest already. $226,000 in interest. What if I told you you could have paid a third of that interest to accomplish the same goal? What? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So here's what we want. So how much money does the bank want from you from this point on to pay off these loans? The bank wants another $1,123,195 just in interest alone. And here's the thing, folks. He can pay all of that interest and still make a ton of money. Let's not forget that point. He's still making a ton of money, even though he's going to pay $1,123,000 in interest, because that's just the cost of doing business. When you borrow your money at retail instead of at wholesale, Miss Kelly. All right. So here's what we're talking about, folks. Let's do it side by side. Let me show you side by side here. The left side is the bank side. All right. And if you're new to the room, you want to go to ice10kvideos.com, ice10kvideos.com, and click on the YouTube channel and click on the live there. Bypass the commercial and then get in here and see what we're doing. So here's the left side. He owes $2,236,376, and the bank wants him to pay it off over 21.9 years. Okay. But remember, every month of those 21 years, his mortgage payment will not change. It's going to be $14,000 and $41,000 in rent that he's collecting. And that's today. The rents are going to increase practically every year for the next 21 years. Now we're making even more money. Do you see what we're talking about here? But here's what I told him. How would you like to be able, using your same budget here, that what you've given me, and not pay $1,123,000, but only pay out $243,000 for 463? Not $1,243,000, and pay off everything in 4.9 years. And in the 17 years, you're not paying all that interest. How about look at the potential wealth accumulation that you could do? Another $9,699,000 using monies that previously we're going to go to the bank. Changes the picture totally, doesn't it? Now he's acquiring that equity. He's acquiring his property, all right, and paying $891,000 less in interest because of that. All right. So let me go over here while we're talking about that. If there are any questions about that, please come up and ask some questions about that, because right now I'm going to put some information on the screen about this particular loan. Let me put my notes up and we're going to go over that. So Jared, while I'm getting the next example ready, can we do a couple of more mod intros while I'm putting the numbers on the screen?
Close them out, something get fed. Raise your hand, come on stage, and if you're at work or you're driving, you're getting the kids ready, ask some questions in the chat. Love interaction. This room is amazing when you go back and forth with Don. So Sheila, thank you so much for coming to the stage. Please introduce yourself, let people know what you do and how they can get a hold of you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila, and I am currently in the credit space. I've been in the credit space since 2004. With that said, I own a credit repair business. I also own a trucking business, and I am a certified professional coder. I assist with personal credit, and I could also help you and show you how to start a credit repair business. So if you want to know any other information as far as credit, personal credit, I have a plethora of YouTube videos. Check me out, touch me. If you have any questions, you can inbox me. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Sheila. Aaron, please introduce yourself and let people know how they can get a hold of you and what you do.
Good morning, family. Thank you, Jared and Don. Good to see everybody in the room. It's been a minute. I'm Erin Porche. My company is Global Works Consulting Group, and our company is highly focused on changing the income brackets and increasing the profit margins globally, um, and helping people to access, win, and maintain government contracts and also grants for the nonprofits that align with their social causes. We we are highly focused on equity and diversity, inclusion, and diversifying your portfolio. So please feel free to click the link in my bio and travel over to my Instagram. There you'll find all of the solutions that we offer to support business owners navigate this new space of government contracting and leveraging grants to support your social causes. I'm Erin Porche, and my DMs are wide open. Thank you all so much for hosting this space.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for everybody being here. And also just want to shout out A. Miller on the stage. She's a business growth strategist, a real estate investor, highly favored by Jesus Christ, and an amazing, amazing person on this app. You should definitely make sure you follow her. Check out her replays. She did an amazing room on Real Estate Talk recently, and just check her out. Check out all these amazing moderators. Make sure you click on all their faces, give them a follow. Your hallway is curated by who you follow. So follow all these amazing people, but most importantly, make sure you're following Don, the man dropping the gems and running this room. All right, Don, I'm passing it back to you. And please come on stage and ask a question. It's 42 minutes in. We haven't had a question yet. We would love a question. Thank you.
All right, folks. Thank you very much, Jared. And thank you for all the moderators that are showing up and supporting this room today. I've got on the screen right now a loan for $1,488,906.65. It's at 5%. It's for 300 months. That's 25 years. Okay. And so this is one of the loans that this gentleman had. And I use this as an example for him. So as we take a look at this, now remember, he's making $41,000 a month. His loans are $14,000 a month. This one loan cost him $8,704 a month. $8704 is what he pays on this loan each month. But man, he's making a ton of money. All right. So let me show you what's going on here. When he makes his mortgage payment, $2,500 of that goes to principal. Look how much goes to interest. This is the rent on his money. He's renting money at over $6,000 a month. Now, he really didn't pay attention to that before because the tenants are paying the rent. The tenants are paying the rent. He gets to keep what's left over, which is a significant amount of money. But when we take a look at this from a different perspective, what if we did not have to pay that amount of interest? So let me take a look here. So what we do, we're going to show you as we add up the principal payments and we add up the interest payments, we're going to show you the difference when you add it all up and not just isolate and make a payment each month and not think about it anymore. Let's add up how much principal you pay and how much interest you pay just for 1 year. Look at the line 12 on this amortization chart, okay? Line 12, it will tell you here that cumulative principal for 1 year, that's how much principal you pay down in 1 year. That's adding up all the principal payments over here in column 1. You're going to pay this loan down by $30,699.86. So how much interest will he pay? When you add up all the $6,000 interest payments, it comes to $73,748.14 that he has to pay out. In other words, to move the loan from point A to point B, I need you to understand this. Point A is where we start, okay? Point A is where we start, payment number 1, down to payment number 12. Point B is payment number 12. To move the loan from point A to point B, doing it the bank's way, making monthly payments, then it costs $73,748.14 in interest to move the loan from point A to point B. All right. If we follow the bank's way of doing things. Now, I want to show you something here on just line 1 and line 2 to make it clear. And then once we do this, then we're going to go into the artificial intelligence, which makes this thing fly. I mean, I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your socks off. But when we put it into a computer program, we can save even more money than I'm getting ready to show you right now. So we're going to take a payment number 1. Payment number 1, let's say it's January. And in January, we make this payment of over $8,400. And so we're making that payment, and there we are. Okay, so I'm sorry. The payment is $8,700. Sorry about that. $8,700. And then when we make that payment, $2,500 goes to principal, $6,000 goes to interest, but we subtract the $2,500 from what we owe. And it leaves us the principal balance on line 1. We take a look at the principal balance on any line, and it tells you what to do on the very next line of the schedule. Always remember that. The principal balance on any line of your mortgage amortization schedule, you look to the very next line as to what to do. Keep that in mind. So the very next line tells us how much interest we pay. Now, on the first line, we paid $6,203.78 in interest. But because we owe less, we're going to pay less interest on line 2. Well, that drops down to $6,193.36. Not much difference. Not much difference at all. But that difference goes over to the principal payment, about $10, okay, $9 or something. And then now we're paying $2,510.64 to principal. So that's how your payment stays the same. Every month, you pay a little less interest and a little more principal. But when they do the configuration, it's the exact same payment each month. Okay, now watch this. When you're looking at this, program, you're looking at this amortization schedule, and you're paying January's payment. Do you realize when you have an amortization schedule, you can see February's principal payment? Yeah, you can see February's principal payment when you're looking at this. So February's principal payment is $2,510.64. So I asked him, I said, if you make your very first payment here, do you have to wait till February to give the bank this $2,500? He said, no, I don't have to. And I said, what if you did? What if you did give the bank an extra $2,510.64 in the same month you made a mortgage payment? Do you realize all of this money goes to principal? He said, well, yeah. I said, you're paid down to line 2 on your amortization schedule in January. And since you already know that whenever you're at a principal balance on your amortization schedule, you always look to the very next line as to what to do. So if you pay your mortgage on line 1, give the bank the principal payment for line 2, that means you're paid down to, all of that money goes to principal, so you're paid down to line 2 in January. Then your next mortgage payment for February is on what line of the schedule now? Well, based on the rules you just gave me, that would mean I'm on line 3. Yeah. So February's payment is now on line 3. Guess what just happened, folks? You got rid of line 2 on the amortization schedule, not for $8,700, but for only $2,500. Line 2 is gone for $2,500. And what happened to the interest cost on line 2? The $6,193.36. Since we skipped over line 2, we don't have to pay we just saved $6,000 in interest that we never have to pay because we gave the bank the $2,500 early. We choose the timing. When we choose the timing, we can give the bank back their money and we save at the same rate they wanted to charge us. Do you see why now? The bank does not want you to know how much interest you save anytime you make a prepayment. That means giving the bank money before it's due, because they never print it on your receipt. Thank you for the extra payment, but you don't know what you just bought. You don't know how much interest you saved. You don't know how much time you saved when you do this. And if they told you by paying an extra $2,500 and then they print it on your receipt, you just saved $6,191.36 in interest you never have to pay, would you start to get some ideas? Watch this, folks. Now that you've learned this little piece, I know that on this loan, this gentleman is going to have to pay the bank, watch this on line 12, $30,699.86. He's going to have to pay that because that's the money he borrowed. He didn't borrow the interest money. He only borrowed the principal money. So anytime you're attacking the loan, forget about the interest altogether. When you're attacking the loan, only look at the principal payments to see what to do. So here's my question. So are you going to have to pay this loan down by $30,699 eventually? But do you have to pay it in 12 monthly installments? He said, no. I said, if you had it, could you pay the $30,699.86 all at once on line 1? And if you did pay it on line 1, would you be paid down to line 12 in just 1 month instead of 12 months? And if that is the case, what happens to all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12? What happens? They are canceled. So you get to move the loan, remember, from point A to point B, doing it the bank's way. You're going to pay $73,000 in interest doing it their way, but you're still making a ton of money. But what would happen if you gave the bank that money up front on line 1 you would save $67,661.37. In other words, you get the same result moving the loan from point A to point B, not for $73,000, but for only the interest on line one, $6,203.78. Folks, there's two ways I just pointed out here to get $30,000 in equity. One way, the bank's way, is to pay 73 grand to get it. The other way is to pay $6,203 to get it. Which way is better to you? Now, let me go and let me point out to you the strategy. Remember, he has a reserve fund of $100,000 that he uses to make repairs and to do maintenance on his buildings. All right, so he has a reserve fund. So I asked him, I said, since you have this reserve fund over here, now my program is going to explain to you exactly what to do, but we're just using this as an example. Could you, as an example, borrow $30,699.86 from yourself, from your reserve fund, and then apply it to the mortgage and get this result? Make your regular payment and then borrow 30 grand from yourself, apply it to principal in that same month, pay it down to here in 1 month, and save yourself $67,661.37 in interest you never have to pay, borrowing money that is currently making you 0.1% interest. Is that? Oh yeah, I most certainly could do that. And I said, now that now how much are you putting into that account every month? He says, out of the rents I receive, I'm traditionally putting about 6 grand in there every month. Well, if you borrow $30,000 from yourself, just save $67,000 in interest, paid yourself all the way down to line 12 in the first month of this, which means your new February payment is now on line 13 of your schedule by using that money. So if you did that, if you borrowed that 30 grand from yourself, tell me this, how long is it going to take you to pay yourself back, to put that money back? So, well, $6,000 and, 5 months. So $30,000. It takes about 5 months at 6 grand a month. I said, after 5 months and you put that money back, could you do it again? He said, well, yeah. And knock off maybe another year, another 60 or 70 grand in interest you don't have to pay. And then in 5 months, pay yourself back. In 5 months, do it again. Do you see, folks? Do you see what was going on here? He was adamant about continuing to make the kind of money he wanted to make. He was also adamant about, I want to take the majority of my money and invest it in other property. But I also do not want to pay all of that interest. So we're taking money that's practically dormant, sitting in a bank account, applying it to his loan, and just killing the game here. I mean, he's getting the same amount of equity, but at a much lower interest cost. And so here's my question for all my real estate investors out there. As you're looking at this, and heretofore, you were okay with paying the bank their money because you were cash flowing very, very well. Now that you know this, do you see the $73,000 here in interest and the $30,000 in principal pay down? Folks, can you continue to justify paying $103,000 out of your hard-earned money just to get 30 grand in equity? Can you continue to justify that? Jared, back to you, sir. If we got any questions on the stage.
No questions yet, but we definitely recommend that if you have a question, come on stage. We'd love for this room to be interactive. It's about an hour left, and we'd love to get some questions on the stage about your refinance, your mortgage, your car loans, your student loans, your credit card debt. But I got a link at the top, ice10kreport.com. Can you tell people what they'll be getting when they click this link and how they can work with you and your team to figure out the month, day, and year they can be debt free?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you click that link above, it'll take you straight to our website, and that is how you get a savings and earnings report. All right. All we do, we put these reports together so people can know the month, day, and year they can be debt free. So if you click on that link, follow the instructions, it will let you into our financial form. All right. Then fill out the information in the form, and somebody from my staff will give you a call and then set up a consultation with me. Once we do that, so once we go through all of that, you will know the month, day, and year you'll be debt free, how much interest you can save, and then we can talk about how you can take that savings, the interest savings, and plow that right back into whether it's building up, your fund, your, what is it, generational wealth, or you can use that money to buy more doors. You can increase your portfolio with that interest savings. So this is going to be a win-win-win for everybody. If you want to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, and how much interest you could save, and how you can take those savings and invest in yourself and in your family. Oh man, I can't wait to talk to each and every one of you. All right, what's next? Do we have it? Listen, I would be interested if any of the moderators had a comment on what we just went over. Listen, anytime they want to jump in, please feel free. You're not interrupting me, you're helping.
Please, man, if you were somebody in the audience, if you're around, what kind of questions would you be asking Don?
Listen, I would ask, my next question would be, do I just pay any amount of money? Because I see a lot of I see a lot of leeway here. I just picked the $30,000 out of the air. My next question would be, is there something I could do that would be more strategic in paying down the loans? That's probably what I would ask.
All right, so let's imagine somebody from the audience came up and asked that. Let's go to breakdown.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put our opportunity cost calculator on the screen. This is our AI system, okay? Artificially intelligent system. And so what I'm going to do is change, we're going to reset the account, and I'm going to set this up for a real estate investor, okay? So we're gonna set it up for multiple properties. There we go. Set it up for multiple properties. And then as it changes, we're going to actually put 10 mortgages into this program. All right, 10 mortgages. All right. We have a total of principal remaining. We have $2,947,500 in properties in here. The amount of interest that we have remaining to pay, okay? Principal remaining, interest remaining, okay? The bank wants us to pay $1,659,869. That $869 in interest. That's how much interest we're going to pay with this program. But here's how much interest we're going to save: 1,455,115. So the total amount of interest that the bank wanted us to pay was like $3 million. $3 million. But we're only going to pay 1,600,000. That's $1,455,000 saved by knowing exactly what to do. Let me get in here. Let me show you how we know what to do here. All right. So we're going to change this back to the next debt transfer, and we're going to keep this here. Now, this is Mr. Jones, and he has this property, and here is his rental income here. We can actually see 3 months at a time in this program. 3 months at a time. We got March, April, and the current month, May. So when we get the money in, his rent's $15,000, then he starts to pay the mortgages. Say mortgage number 8, mortgage number 6, mortgage number 3. He's paying the mortgages, and he has a HELOC. He pays his auto insurance, and is also, even though he is a real estate investor, he also has a very good W-2 job, which not only pays him a salary, but he gets bonuses as well. So he's putting all of that money to good use, putting it together, building up his financial empire. Now, here's what's going on. As he's getting the money in and he's making the minimum payments, he's just reporting to the program, I receive my rental income. So he just clicks on the link, tells the program, I receive my rental income, and it disappears from the screen. Where did it go? We go into accounts, and we can see that when we take a look at the accounts, we can see, oh, that it went into his checking account. So if we check the history here, we find out that, oh, he started out, his starting balance was $500. He put $15,000 in. So now he has $15,500 in his checking account. So we go back, click on the accounts. We have, in the checking, we have about 5,000 in savings. And here are his liabilities. Here's his Visa card. Here are the mortgages. Here's a mortgage for $300,000. Here's one for $200,000. Here's one for $500,000 at 4%. Here's one for $375,000 at 4.13%. So we have a ton of mortgages here, all owing a different amount at different interest rates. So remember, at the top of our show, I mentioned having 10 variables. When you have a lot of variables, then you have to figure out, how do I pay this thing back in a way that's going to save me the most amount of money? So when you do things in the right sequence, you save money. But if you don't do them in the right sequence, you're still saving money, but you're not saving as much money. So here's my question to everyone. Do you want to save some money in interest, or do you want to save the most amount of interest that's mathematically possible for you? So here's what's happening. I'm going to skip down through here. We're going to pay all of the mortgages for March. We're going to take a look at April, and the program says in April, some of that money that the program is saying, you need to put some of that money in savings. You need to take the money out of checking and put it into savings. And then when you do that, you need to pay that HELOC off to zero. Take $3,461.58, pay the HELOC off to zero. That's what the program is saying. And then with another portion of that money, $4,031.42. And it's very specific. Stop at the 42 cents. Don't round it up. Stop right there. This is an optimum amount and an optimum day to pay this money to save the maximum amount of interest for you. Watch what happens when we tell the program we want to pay mortgage. Out of all the mortgages, we're picking on mortgage number 9. Why mortgage number 9? Let's execute this and see. When we pay that $4,031.42 to this mortgage, it's going to save us, can you see this future interest savings? $46,894.34. Are you telling me that this real estate investor by paying an extra $4,000 that he probably has in a reserve fund is going to save him $46,000 in interest. How can that be? Here's how. Let me show you. We're going to go back. We're going to go into accounts and we're going to find mortgage number 9 and see how it breaks down. So we go into mortgage number 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we are. I'm watching it also on my iPad so I can see when it catches up, because there's a slight delay between what I say and what you see on YouTube or wherever you're streaming this content. All right. So here we go. We're going to open this up. We're going to click on history. And I need you to see something. When he makes his payment on this mortgage, only 200, let me see if I can make this just a little bit bigger. Okay. $213 goes to principal. $2,637.92 goes to interest. This is $487,000 at 6.5% interest. Folks, do you realize that's where the interest rates are going? 6.5% is here today. It's here now. Okay. What can you do with that? With these tiny principal payments, for every $200 or $13 or $14 or so that's prepaid, that means he doesn't have to pay $2,600 in interest. So when you take the $4,000, how many of these can you divide into $4,000 and then take that money and multiply it by the $2,600 in interest? That's where we get that money from, that he doesn't have to pay all of that interest when he prepays the $4,000. Otherwise, let me go back to where we were. Okay. And I need to make this abundantly clear. When he pays this money, so watch this. We're going to go back to mortgage number 9. We're going to open it up. Watch this. The $4,031.42. If he pays it the way the bank wants him to, in monthly installments, when he gets up to the $4,031, he will also give in the bank $46,894.34 if he pays it in monthly installments. But if he gives it to the bank, it disrupts the bank's timing, giving them money he would have to give them anyway at the right time in the right amounts. He doesn't have to pay the $46,000 to get the same amount of equity. I hope that this is becoming abundantly clear to everyone, whether they're a real estate investor, whether you're, whether you're a residential homeowner. It is not necessary to pay all of that interest. If you're a residential homeowner, listen, folks, stop spending your kids' inheritance on interest, because that's exactly what we're doing. Do you know we come into these clubhouse rooms, and do you know how much time we spend on how to legally avoid paying taxes? I mean, you make the money, why give it all away in taxes? So we have a ton of tax strategies. How many strategies do we have in not paying interest? And folks, we're going to pay far more interest than we will ever pay in taxes. And we have way more strategies for taxes than we do for interest. All right. Do we have any other comments on the stage? Because I have another comment from someone that we were able to talk to this past weekend when we were in Nashville. You see, folks, not only did we have 16, 17 fabulous speakers from all across Clubhouse and across the country come in, we had our keynote speaker. A keynote speaker was Dr. Eric Thomas. Let's hear what Dr. Eric Thomas, and listen, if you want to see this video, because we're getting ready to play a video. If you want to see it, come in to go to ICE ice10kvideos.com, ice10kvideos.com on your iPad or on your computer, and then watch and listen to what Dr. Eric Thomas has to say about paying off his mortgage. Let's roll it.
But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. And so when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest. Do me a favor, take these principles and use them. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. I love you guys. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you. I mean, he said he used a program. And tomorrow, I'm going to play a video where he talks about what program he used. But just so that you can not be kept in suspense, anybody who was there, Jared, you were there. What program did he say that E.T. said he used to pay off his mortgage? We can't hear you, Jared. It's getting better.
Yeah, no, he was saying he used your method. His method. I had no idea. His friend was trying to make it sound like he came up with it, but yeah, he saw the video. And he's like, "Oh, that's you." Yeah.
Have mercy. Folks, we're going to have that ready for you tomorrow. I want you to know that E.T. himself is using this program he paid off his mortgage in the early days of his career using the P.I.L.L method program. And he talked about it live on stage. So listen, if you want to know more about how E.T. paid off his mortgage and how you can do the same thing, why don't you just go and click on that link right above our heads, savings report. Get a request. Fill out that request for a savings report so you can know the month, day, and year you could be debt free and how much interest you can save just by following some simple instructions and letting the computer tell you exactly what to do and when. Not only that, folks, but let me tell you a little bit about the book that we have out. 33 million titles on Amazon. 33 million titles on Amazon, and only one book talks about how to read an amortization schedule and how to defeat it. That's the P.I.L.L method, a better way to eliminate debt, which has been a #1 bestseller on Amazon. Folks, if you go ahead and get that book today, what we're going to do for you is, if you that card you're clicking on up top, the ice10klive.com, that ice10klive.com, when you're clicking on that, that is a 10K card. That is a digital business card that you can construct and then you can develop any way you need to so that all of your information can be in one place on one digital card. And any person who has that card, anytime there's a change in your card, all the cards change, no matter how long they've had them. It is a fabulous, fabulous tool. Anybody who gets that book today, I will guarantee you that you can get your own 10K card. I'll pay for it. All you have to do is screenshot your receipt and follow the directions on the card. I think we're going to put that on the screen as well, where that I think it's the number 2 button on, yeah, there it is. It is the second button down on the right side. You can get that. You will click on that, upload the screenshot to your receipt, tell us how you want us to send the card, whether it is email or texted back to you or however you want to get it. Fill out all the information, and I will pay for you a 10K card if you buy that book today. Come on, folks. It's in a book. The basics of this is in a book. And then it talks about why you need an opportunity cost calculator to go through to the very next level, and stop doing what the gurus teach you about this thing. Do you know it wasn't by mistake that we ended up doing our first live event in Nashville, Tennessee? It wasn't by mistake. There's a guy there that teaches the debt snowball. There's a guy there in Nashville, Tennessee that everybody's heard of that tells you to cut up your credit cards. There's a guy there in Nashville, Tennessee that says you don't need credit. You don't need a credit score. In fact, if you follow him, he says, I'm going to drive your credit score to zero because you don't need credit. This is why we went to Nashville, because there are a lot of people that don't believe that. We are there for the people who said, you know what, that may work for other folks, but that doesn't work for me. We need an alternative plan. So we brought the P.I.L.L method to Nashville as an alternative plan. And then E.T., the number one motivational speaker in the entire world, says he uses this plan to pay off his mortgage. Folks, it doesn't get much better than that. Jared, back to you, sir.
If you have not already, make sure you're following Don. Click on his profile, click the follow button, and then click that always on notification. Because if he's on a stage around the best financial advisors, real estate professionals, dropping gems, so you got to make sure you're following him here. Shout out to Luis. Follow the Great House of the Club. When you follow Don, go all the way down the bottom where his clubs are listed and follow the P.I.L.L Method Club. And if you are here an iPad, a laptop, a desktop, make sure to go to ice10kvideos.com. Click the button that says channel that says live so you can see the examples on the screen. I'm going to ask Jonathan, Lipton, Christopher Berna, Sandra, Fisa, Janice, Angie, all the way down to Adeline and Antonia. And we get one person to raise their hand and ask a question. 38 minutes left. And we want to illustrate how clear these examples can be when somebody asks a question. So an example of questions can be, can this be used for a car loan? Can this be used for student loan debt? And you thought your student loan debt was going to be with you until the day you die. You're wrong. You get that paid off in 3 to 5, 6, 7 years, depending on your overall credit, your debt situation.
Hey, Jared, your audio is way low. So I don't know. Are you using Bluetooth or something? But right now it's really low. But folks, we have a question. We have a question in the chat, and I'm gonna read that question off to you now. Let's see if I can. Okay, it says here from Jeremiah Sams. He says he's selling his house in a couple of days. Before I can buy another home, I will have to pay off all my debt. The only debt I will have at that point is a mortgage. Can the P.I.L.L method still help me? Most definitely. You don't need a lot of debt. You just need to have something that the bank is charging you interest on. So here's my question for anybody who has, whether they have 10 mortgages or one mortgage. Here's my question. When do you want to start saving money? When does it make sense to start saving money? So listen, when we have mortgages on the screen, I'm going to go ahead and put something on the screen from my from my PowerPoint here. We're going to bring that up, and we're going to go over some things that will hopefully we'll be able to check that out. Let me go ahead and let me start the show, and let's see where this is going to show up. Which screen? Okay. All right. I know now. All right. So now I know which screen to share. Okay. So now we're going to share screen number 3. All right. Let's see here. Stop to share. And then, okay. And share this screen. And there we go. Actually, a screen 2. All right. So there we go. And now I'm going to find some information here about how mortgages work. Let me see here. I'm going to start out at, all right, we're going to start out at this. Okay, so you should be able to see on your screen a $500,000 mortgage at 3% when it shows up here. If you want to see this example on YouTube, go to YouTube. Go to ice10kvideos.com, ice10kvideos.com, and you'll be able to see what's going on here. Folks, I get so excited about sharing this information. And the excitement that Luis gets when he's talking about his money trees, the excitement that he gets when everybody deserves a home, when he says, I could take this person and then find them that money that's going to help them to level up and to buy their own home. And not only to buy their home, but as that home increases in equity, guess what he's going to show you how to do? Reap that equity and invest that money into other property. Come on, folks. It can't get better than that. Not only that, but when you combine the two ideas from everyone deserves a home to everyone deserves to pay 75% less interest as well, now you can buy more homes with less money, increasing your net worth by an enormous amount, because we're going to take monies that formerly went to pay interest. You are now going to take that money and invest it in property. Come on, can't get better than that. Watch this: $500,000 that at 3%. The interest that the bank wants over 30 years is $258,000. Folks, I have never claimed to be a math genius. But I do know this: 258,000 is not 3% of 500,000. When we're taking a look at paying that money back, we're paying back a total of $758,887. Do you know how I know most people are going to pay that? Because it's a national average that 9 out of 10 people, not just 9 out of 10 people across the board. I'm saying 9 out of 10 people will never pay off a mortgage. Never. So, if that's the case, why are we in a system where 90% of us fail to do what we set out to do? So I care about paying all of that interest, just like Luis cares about everyone deserves a home. They deserve it. Everyone deserves a home. So if you want it, there's a way to get it. And now you can pay 75% less interest while you're getting it. Lord have mercy. Check this out. So the interest, look at this. The total interest paid as a percentage of principal is not 3%, it's actually 51%. So there are people out there that talk about, I want to, you should never pay off a mortgage. You should never pay it off because it's cheap money. Don't pay it off. Take that money and invest it. Look, listen, folks, even at 3%, is this really cheap money? Paying 51% of what you borrowed It's not cheap money, has never been cheap money, because the people who say that actually never did the math. They're saying 3% of $500,000. Why would anybody pay that off if all you're paying is 3% of $500,000? They didn't do the math to figure out that it's not 3%. This loan is amortized interest. And when you amortize it, 3% for 30 years becomes 51%. Well, it doesn't just stop there. I'm going to change this over to another screen and show you that 4% interest is actually 71%. And 5% interest really means on a $500,000 loan over 30 years, you're going to pay back $466,279.60. That's 93.25% of what you borrowed. At 6%, where the loans are going now, is at 6%. The bank wants you all 30-year loans. I don't care how much you borrow. All 30-year amortized loans, all 30-year mortgages at 6%. The bank wants you to pay 115.838% of what you borrowed. In case of this $500,000 loan, the bank wants you to pay them back $579,190 in interest. Man, 115.838%. You don't have to pay that. We can show you how to pay. You can cut that by 75%. That's what we're talking about here, folks. Cut it by 75%. Stop paying all of that interest and take that money that we were paying in interest and invest it into your families. And they said, well, Don, okay, how can I know? How can I know that this is the truth? How can I know it for sure? You know how I know? Because it is stated right in your mortgage papers on the mortgage note page. It says something like this: the borrower's right to prepay. You have a right to do this. It's your right. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to go and say, listen, mother, may I? Marco Polo. You don't have to do any of that. What you have to do is read this part of your contract. And it says something like this: I have the right to make payments of principal at any time before they are due. A payment of principal only is known as a prepayment. So you can make prepayments. When I make a prepayment, I will tell the note holder in writing that I am doing so. I may make a full prepayment or partial prepayments without paying any prepayment charge. Now, the question usually comes up at this time. What about prepayment penalties? What about prepayment penalties? And I say at that time, most residential properties in the US, they don't have to worry about prepayment penalties. But in Canada, they do. Canada has to worry about prepayment penalties. In Bermuda, they have to worry about prepayment penalties. But what I teach my clients in Bermuda, what I teach my clients in Canada, that you just need to change one word. Change it from prepayment penalties to prepayment cost. And now ask yourself a new question. How much does it cost to prepay my loan? And the answer to that would be, when you compare the cost of prepaying with how much interest you save, this might change the whole complexion of the scenario. So I had a client in Canada, and we were trying to figure out what this family's prepayment penalty would be if they cut $100,000 in interest out of their mortgage that they didn't have to pay. We plugged it into a calculator on the mortgage company's website that calculates the prepayment penalty. So when we put all the numbers in, now this only makes sense, folks, if you know how much interest you're saving when you're making the payment. And because most people don't know how much interest they're saving, they get scared and they try to avoid the penalty because they don't know what their benefits are. You can scare somebody with a penalty if you don't know what the benefits are. And folks, the reason why we don't know what the benefits are is because we haven't been taught how to measure our benefits for prepaying a loan. That's why we exist. So you can know your benefits. You can't optimize what you cannot measure. You can't. So by telling this couple that you're going to now save $100,000 in interest by making this financial move, now they're interested in finding out what the prepayment penalty or prepayment cost is. They were shocked to find out that their prepayment penalty was $1,200 to save $100,000 in interest. Folks, when you know what your benefit is, there is no more cost. There's only a net benefit. I have $100,000 in benefit. You want to charge me $1,200. Well, shoot, subtract that $1,200 from my $100,000 benefit. I'll make that trade all day, every day. And so would you. What is it that we're doing here, folks? We want people to know. This is why we wrote the book. This is why we went to Nashville, to go to the very seat of power that this individual has on the United States and to tell people the truth. Stop paying all of that interest because the debt snowball and the avalanche methods cost our people way too much money. Why is it that when you stop to think about it, when we just stop to think about it, I'm paying off a small loan, which obviously has a small interest cost. I'm going to pay off all my small loans first. Baby step number 6 in this particular program, baby step number 6 is pay the mortgage off last. Can I show you something about that? Can I show you a little something about that? I'm going to pull up our program again. I'm going to get that on the screen. We're going to switch screens from the PowerPoint, and then we're going to go over that. And I want to show you something. Why we went to the seat of power to tell people the truth about lending, because over the years, the debt snowball has proved to work in helping people get completely out of debt. But there's one very important thing that it did not do. It did not tell you that you are paying an exorbitant amount of interest to do what it is that you're trying to do. Way too much interest. So as we work to get this up on the screen, do we have any new moderators on? Oh, there she is, Credit Goddess. How are you doing? And Credit Goddess, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Don. How are you?
Man, listen, I am excited today.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead while I get this next example up? Can you go ahead and do a quick introduction for us?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. My name is Rosa Lauren Lewis. I'm also known as Credit Goddess. I am all things credit and the official credit expert for the P.I.L.L Method crew here. Love being here. I love what Don has to share about this. Now, If you guys want to know what the importance of me or even the importance of credit is, just having good credit gives you the access to other people's money. So that way you can then apply the P.I.L.L method. So not only do I help you repair, but I also help you rebuild your credibility, optimize your credit profile. So that way you can get the best rate and the best term, whether it comes to buying that first car, your second home, starting a business. If you're just trying to get past that frustration and wondering how and why I'm not getting approved, definitely tap in with me. Number is in my bio. Send your name and email address to the number in my bio, and let's book a consultation. But yeah, Don, I'm waiting for you. But hey, I don't know if you want to like go down explaining or breaking down like how interest rates are calculated, because I know a lot of times when they look at your example, it's like, how is that possible? How are you getting those numbers? So if you want to go and try to calculate those numbers so they can help piece everything together, what you're talking about, let me know.
Listen, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go through this example, and we're going to put a calculator up on the screen, Miss Credit Goddess, so you can tell people, so you can show them how a 3% mortgage becomes a 51% mortgage. How in the world that they can charge all of that interest on these loans. We're going to break that down for you. Credit Goddess is going to take us through that step by step by step. But right now, I'm going to show you why the debt snowball is it's effective, but it is highly inefficient. Highly inefficient. You know, I think about it this way: my car is effective from getting me from point A to point B faster. It's highly effective. But if I was getting 5 gallons, if I was getting 5 miles to the gallon, it would be highly inefficient. Do you see what I mean? Something can be effective, but be inefficient at the same time. So let me show you this. We're going to put this on the screen. John and Rebecca Jones paying off their debt. Uh-oh, I'm showing the wrong screen. Sorry. Let me put this on here. Sorry about that. Stop this screen and put on the new screen. And there we go. Sorry about that, Talik. There we are, folks. All right. So John and Rebecca Jones are paying off their debt. They have a 30-year mortgage. They have a car loan, okay, and they have a credit card. But as you can see here, the same money that they use to qualify for these loans, they are going to be able to pay off these loans in 7.7 years. 7.7 years without changing their budget, without sacrificing lifestyle. Not 30 years. All of their debt, 7.7 years. Why? Because we're going to save them $179,000 in interest they don't have to pay. So here's the thing is now the program is telling us, we're going to scroll down. The program is telling us first we need to pay off the Visa. So we're going to scroll down here to take a look at this thing. And as you can see, we're paying down the Visa first. When you pay down the Visa first and you're looking at the debt snowball, watch this. So we're going to go back up. We're going to go to the accounts, and we're going to see that the minimum payment on the Visa is $50.88. Now, the theory, the debt snowball theory, says what you need to do is take the $50.88 that you're no longer paying on the Visa and now put that money on the next smallest loan, which would be the auto loan. Okay? And pay that off. And you got a 5-year auto loan that you could actually pay off in about 2 years if we focus all of our monies on the auto loans. Focus on that. But by doing that, we make the mortgage last. That's baby step number 6. So we take now, so once the auto loan is paid off, which is another $460, we claim that. Now we can put all $510 plus a little extra money on the mortgage to pay that off early. So the money from the credit card, the money from the auto loan Now that everything else is paid off, we take that money and apply it to the mortgage payment as well and increase it by about $500. Therefore, we pay off the mortgage faster and cheaper as well. Now, that is effective. It's just not efficient. That's why we went to Nashville, Tennessee, the seat of power, and said, you don't have to do it that way. And even E.T. himself says, I use this method instead of that method to pay off my mortgage. All right, watch this. So when we get in here, we're going to go back to settings. All right, and we're going to go into preferences. Okay. Now, when we go into preferences, we can choose some stuff. We're going to go over here to the left. I'm going to wait for it to catch up on my iPad here. All right. So I can see that too. All right. So we've got that. We're going to go over here to program focus settings. We're going to click on that. Program focus settings. And when that comes up, the next screen that comes up, it says program focus and it's set to automatic. Now let's read what it says. When the focus is set to automatic, the program will automatically optimize the order you pay off the debts to become debt-free. You may change the focus setting. However, this could have a negative impact on your overall results. Remember when I said about learning how to do things in the right order? Because if you don't do them in the right order, it could cost you a ton of money. So it's not just, don't believe this to be true, because the lenders want you to believe this, that anything you do to get out of debt is as good as any other thing you can do to get out of debt. And that is absolutely not true. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this automatic. Do you know I can override the program if I want? I just click the drop down. So I have 3 loans in here. So I can choose, I can focus on the mortgage, I can focus on the auto loan, I can focus on the Visa. Let's just do, since I paid off the Visa, let's just follow the debt snowball theory. Since I owe less on the car, all right, let's go ahead and choose the auto loan. Now, when I choose the auto loan, watch what happens. I have 7.7 years to pay off. Do you see up here at top where it says $179,528 in interest I can save? But when I choose the auto loan, watch what happens to my interest savings. Watch what happens when my time savings to pay off. So we're going to pay off the auto loan, not in 5 years. It's going to end up being around 2 if we focus on the auto loan. Pay it off in 2 years instead of 5. Let's choose the auto loan. Let's see what happens when the program recalculates. Okay, we're recalculating, and I need you to see this. Wait till it pops up. It's a little slow on YouTube, but here it comes. We were getting out of debt in 7.7 years. Now we're getting out of debt in 7.8 years. And instead of saving $179,000 in interest, we're saving $177,000. What just happened? We're paying off the car 3 years early. And it cost us an extra $2,000 a month to do it. This is what the debt snowball does. So Don, show me why does it do this? Let's go into accounts. I'm going to change this back though, because I don't like looking at this. Let's go back to the automatic. This is why it's so important to have a calculator to do all the math for us. It takes all the guesswork out. No more guesswork. Put it in here. You'll know exactly what to do. So go ahead, and we're going to go back into accounts, and I want to show you something very interesting. So we're going to take a look at the car loan. We're going to break that down. And if you look over here to the left, the principal payment for the car loan is $377.08. The interest payment for the car loan is $83.33. You start attacking this loan, you start saving those $80 payments that you don't have to make. Okay. So we're going to focus on this loan, but I need to show you something. I would have to prepay $377.08. I'd have to pay that early just to eliminate a total of $83.33 in interest. Now, is it worth it? Of course it's worth it to pay that. So as money I was going to pay anyway, I might as well find out how I can do that and save $83 in interest I don't have to pay. But when you have other loans, that could be problematic. Watch this. So we're going to go back into accounts. We're going to find that mortgage payment and we're going to pull it up. Okay. We're going to click on history for the mortgage and watch this. While I'm focusing on that auto loan for the next 2 years, paying it off early, I'm making minimum payments to the mortgage. I'm saving $80 payments in interest on the car while I'm paying $1,000 interest on the mortgage. Folks, if you are this guy's fan, even if you're a fan of the debt snowball, can we continue to be a fan of something that it is effective, but it is highly inefficient? Can we continue to be a fan of that method that says, I could prepay $300 and it saved me $80 in interest. But if I prepay $200, it saves me $1,000 in interest. And I want to ask you, and I want to point out, does it matter the sequence we pay off these loans? Does it matter how much we pay and when we pay it? It most certainly does. So Credit Goddess, we got a few minutes left here. Let's put something on the screen here, and let's go over how this whole mortgage thing works, okay? And Credit Goddess, if you're here, come on up. All right, so I'm going to put.
Don, just curious, can you hear me better?
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
All right, great.
Perfect. So Rosalie must be on the. You are great. Yes. Listen, I do this a different way, but I love the way you do it.
Oh, breaking down the interest.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in a $200,000 loan, all right, on the screen. And folks, we're going to show you how this all works. And we're going to do it at 3% interest. Okay. So Credit Goddess, there's your numbers, $200,000 mortgage at 3%. And the payment is $948.42. And in the very first payment, $488 goes to principal, $500 goes to interest, and on the next line, $449.54 goes to principal, and $498.88 goes to interest. Those are your numbers. What do we do next?
Numbers. Okay, so I know, guys, I was a math whiz, and if I didn't pay attention in class, I would not have figured out the formula. A lot of times we tend to use calculators and we don't know how the calculation comes up. So if your algebra teacher taught you how to show the work, I'm going to show you guys how this calculation come about. If you don't want to just depend on the AI coming up with the numbers, you want to figure out how that happened. I'm going to break that down to you. So
Rosala, just a second. I know there's some new people in here. We got to invite them in so they can finally see how in the world the bank turns 3% into 51%.
Yes.
So go to ice10kvideos.com, ice10kvideos.com, find our YouTube link right there, and click on the live video so that you can see this example, and go ahead and bypass that commercial. That's how I get paid, but don't worry about it. All right. Go ahead, Rose. Talk to us about how that we can figure this out.
Okay. So I want everyone to pull out their calculators too, because I'm the type of person that I have to apply it so I can fully understand it. I can't just watch it. So if you guys pull out the calculator, I'm going to give you guys the formula. And this is applied to anything that you're financing. If you want to understand when you're looking at the final sheet, the final finance sheet, and what you're paying in interest overall and how they came up with the numbers, I'm going to give you guys the formula on how to calculate this, and also how to read line by line the amortization schedule. So the formula is you're going to take the principal balance. So what you financing in total. So that's $200,000 on a 3% interest, right? You're going to take the principal balance and you're going to multiply that by 3%. So let's do that. No. We're going to multiply it. We're going to multiply. Oh, well, you're doing it that way? Okay. Okay. So 200,000 times 3%, it gives you 6,000. That is the APR for the year. Then we're going to take that and we're going to divide it into 12 because we want to know what our interest payment is going to be for the month.
Okay, 6,000 divided by 12.
12
is $500.
$500. Okay, so you guys see there the $500 interest, as you can see on the amortization schedule, that shows up, right?
Ooh, look at that.
So that's the interest payment that you're making every month. What is the monthly payment?
It is our monthly payment is $948.42.
Okay, so once you pay the bank $500 of your $948 payment, $448 is going towards the principal balance.
Wait a minute, Rose. So listen, are you saying that once I make that payment now, I owe, when I subtract $448.42, the principal payment on line one is $199,551.58. I can do the same thing with that number?
Yes.
Okay, listen.
Yes. So if we were to take 199,551 and subtract the 448.42, we are now on line two, which is we're going to pay 3% of the $199,102.04. See, the way that you end up paying 51% is because you're being charged 3% of the principal balance that you have left.
Each month.
Each month, you're being charged 3% of the principal balance that you have left month after month.
So it's not 3% of my total.
No.
So it's like having a brand new mortgage every month?
Every single month. Every single month.
So I'm going to do the 199,551.58 times.
Minus. You're gonna.
No,
You're gonna time it by 3%.
By 3%.
By 3%.
Okay. Now I got 559, 5,986 .5474.
Yeah. So your interest, your APR went down just a little bit because last month it was on 6,000. Now it's on 5,986. So we're gonna divide that into 12.
So I'm going to divide this by 12 now.
Yep.
Right there. Oh, doggone it! I keep messing up. Wait a minute, Rose.
5,000.
Hold on. Let me do it again. All right. See, folks, math was never my strong suit. All right, 551 .58, and we're going to multiply that by 3%.
Yes.
Times 3%, and I get five. I'm going to write that down. Okay. 559.86. And that's 547.
$5,986.55.
All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and clear that out, and I'm going to put back in the 59.86.5474. And now I divide this by 12.
Yes.
All right. And if that's right, I should get the interest on line 2.
Uh-huh. $498.88.
Okay. Equals what? $498 and then you round it up and they round it up and it becomes $498. Rose, that's how they figure that interest. So I'm paying 3% on the unpaid balance every single month.
Unpaid balance every single month.
So if I lower the balance faster, then I pay less interest.
Then you pay less interest. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So you're paying. So like what you're just showing, you're showing them to pay the principal balance because that is what we're trying to lower, so we can pay less in interest, or what you would say, save on interest costs.
Wow. Rosalie Lewis, you listen, we're going to end the show on that note. Folks, this is the fastest 2 hours on Clubhouse. I am so appreciative of everybody who has been here and made and input into this. And we appreciate the club. Everyone deserves a home. And listen, we want and we absolutely love combining, creating some synergy here, buying a home and paying a lot less interest to the bank, taking that money and investing it into your family. Thank you, Rosalord. Thank you, everybody here. Jared, back to you, sir. Let's do the outros and let's take it on home.
All right. And thank you all for being here. Don, real quick before we go through outros, if they want to understand the month, date, and year that they can be debt free and work with you and your team, what are the steps that they need to take?
Well, first of all, I got to know if Rose is going to be on our team, because I mean, that would be fantastic. Absolutely. So, folks, you want to go to, let's see, we got the savings report request at the top. That's ice10kreport.com for all of you that are on that are streaming. ice10kreport.com. When you click on that link, it will take you to our website. You can then put in your financial information. Once you put in your financial information, someone from my staff will contact you and set up a consultation. Then you'll know the month, day, and year you'll be debt free, usually within a 7 to 9 year window, which is fantastic. And we usually cut your interest costs by about 75%. Take that interest savings and we'll show you how you can invest that into your family. Listen, do it today. I can't wait to speak with each and every one of you. All right, Jared, back to you, sir.
All right. And if you want to check out his best-selling book, he also has a URL called ice10kbook.com. And you can just type that into your browser and that takes you to Amazon, or you can search the P.I.L.L method on Amazon. And as soon as you do so, screenshot that receipt, go to ice10klive.com and upload on step 3. The instructions are in the chat. But again, make sure you're following Don. We're going to go through some moderator outros. Don, I'm not sure if one of the moderators brought up Joyce, but if they did, if they want to introduce her, that would be great. Otherwise, Joyce, if you came up to ask a question, we ending the room right now, but we do this room on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be in the Mortgage Syndicate for a special edition. And we also do this room Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m., either in the P.I.L.L method or one of our, collaboration clubs. But Don, I'm not sure if you brought Joyce up, if you want to introduce her.
Hey, Joyce, how are you today?
Good morning. How are you all?
Excellent. Did you have a question for us?
No, I just want to tell you all.
Come on, tell us.
You all have powerful gems on this platform. And I want you to know I'm going to connect with you all as soon as possible. Those gems, I said, oh my land, this is a way out. This is a way out. I to connect with you people as soon as I can. So I'm on my way to work, but I just wanted you all to know how powerful these gems are that you're dishing out here on the platform. And thank you so much.
Joyce,
I will be listening. Yes.
You are entirely welcome.
Thank you. And I'm here in Huntsville also. So
What?
I'm gonna yes, I'm gonna connect with you as soon as I can.
Listen. You need to visit me in my office. My office is in Madison.
Yes, I'm headed to Madison now. I work there. I'm a cosmetologist, and I'm headed to work this morning. But I got to get on your schedule as soon as I can.
Listen, you just you do that, and I'll be so glad to greet you at our office here in Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you so much, Joyce, for coming to the stage.
Okay, and thank all of you all for the gems that you shared with us this morning. Have a nice day.
Have an amazing day. We love your energy. We appreciate that. And yeah, thank you so much for that. We really, really appreciate it. All right, so we're going to close out this room so Don can get to his clients and we can all get our Friday started. So we're going to go from the bottom to the top and do some moderator outros. So, Crystal, it was great seeing you in Nashville. Please introduce yourself and let people know what you do and how they can get a hold of you for any of your services. Crystal, you there? All right. So we'll go Credit Goddess. Please give an outro.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for always hosting this room, always showing up. My name is Rosalora Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess, all things credit, and the official credit expert for the P.I.L.L Method crew. If any of you guys are interested in any of my services, whether it's a done for you or a DIY in personal credit or business credit, definitely tap in with me. This is not something that you just want to sit and ponder and wonder if you should do it or not, because credibility does take time to build, just like trust. So if you are credit challenged, definitely tap in with me. I don't bite. I am a busy person, which is why I prefer that you book a consultation so that way we can have a dedicated time to speak about your credit situation. So send your name and email address to the number in my bio. That is 888-557-5778. That's 888-557-5778. An automatic link will be sent to you where you can book your consultation for any services that you're looking for. So look forward to speaking with you guys. Look forward to assisting you as well. So that way we can build generational wealth by gaining access to other people's money and applying the P.I.L.L method. But thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Yes. Make sure you're following Credit Goddess. She does amazing content, and make sure you get in touch with her outside of the app. Up next is Coffee Brown. She's usually with her students while she's on stage. We appreciate her sharing this room with her 7,500 followers. Make sure you become one of her followers as well. Click on her bio, read what she does, go to her 10K card, coffee10k.com, and get in touch with her for all the things that she does on and off the app. Up next is Sheila.
Hey everyone, good morning. My name is Sheila. You can just pretty much touch my profile to see what I'm about. I'm in the credit space, been in the credit space since 2004, also in the trucking space. So if you would like information on how to start your very own credit repair business, just hit me up. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So, A. Miller is somebody you should absolutely follow. Click her profile, give her a follow. She's a business growth strategist, real estate investor, and philanthropist. She runs A. Miller Group, where she enjoys helping brands and businesses develop new profit generating ventures and dominate in new markets and invest in the community. She is a leader in the club called Real Estate Talk. She has a room coming up in her bio. So click on her profile, give her a follow, and check her out on Instagram as well. There's a lot of amazing content. Up next is Luis, who is on a phone call, probably funding somebody's real estate venture or selling somebody a house or doing something to help the community. But Luis is the founder of Everyone Deserves a Home. So make sure to click that greenhouse at the top, follow the club, and make sure you're following Luis. Text funding to his phone number in his avatar, and he will show you some funding and real estate opportunities. And he is based in the New Jersey, New York area in particular. My name is Jared Albritton. I do a ton of rooms on Clubhouse focused on generational wealth building. I've been in the tech space for over 15 years. I'm going to start my weekly rooms up again where I'll have 40 plus recruiters on stage providing roles in the tech space, We had over 100 people get roles in tech in 2021 through these rooms. Also do a ton of rooms on Twitter Spaces as well. I'm about to get super consistent in June. And also I'll be doing a weekly room about Web 3.0, careers, opportunities, and current events. So I'm going to be super, super busy. I have a sponsorship with an app called Entree, which I'll be talking about more in those rooms, which is a version of LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and a bunch of others for professionals. So I'm excited about that as well. So check me out. Give me a follow here if you've never seen me around. It'll open up your hallway to a lot of really, really valuable rooms. I have a room coming up on the Women in Business Club in about 50 minutes. How I made $60,000 in 7 months during recession. My colleague Renee Dittman in the Women in Business Club, a lot of rooms like that. And I will be in this room Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, helping Don moderate these rooms. And so we look forward to seeing you in this room, and follow Don's club. If you click on his profile, go all the way to the bottom. There's a club called the P.I.L.L Method. Make sure you follow that club and follow Don as well. All right, Don, I'm gonna give you the last words and we're gonna close it out.
Well, thank you, everyone. We're going to be back here. Want to enjoy the holiday weekend. We're going to be here early in the morning so that you can go about the rest of your day and do what you've got to do this weekend. And please be safe, be responsible, and listen, contact us as soon as you possibly can so that you can get your savings report so you can know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, and stop giving all of that money to the bank. So anyway, folks, I was glad to be here with you today. I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Sunday. All right, take us out, sir.